is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe, NeverState.com, and for today's video, I want to talk to you guys about a bodyweight exercise that you're probably not doing that could do a lot of good for both your deadlifts and your squats, as well as maybe some rehab stuff, because today we're going to talk about Copenhagens. Now, some people call these Copenhagen planks, while other people call them Copenhagen adductor movement exercises. There's a lot of different names out there, but as far as I can tell, this is the only exercise that has the name Copenhagen involved. So if you search it, you're gonna find this. As just mentioned, the Copenhagen is a bodyweight exercise. So the only thing that you're gonna need to perform this are your own little two legs, as well as maybe a bench or a hollow jump box, a barbell, a chair, anything that you kind of support yourself underneath. All that I'm gonna interject here is that whatever you choose to support your bodyweight with, if it does not have its own padding, you may want to add some, because supporting yourself on the inside of your ankle is not really a pleasant experience. But basically, once you're in this position, all that you're gonna do is raise your hip up and support yourself. Now, I'm gonna get into a lot of variations and how to scale this in just a little bit, but first I wanna talk to you guys about some of the benefits. Of course, as you guys can see, there's a huge adductor type of support there, so it is going to do a lot to help rehab and prehab both groin injuries as well as hip injuries, while at the same time balancing the relationship between your adductors as well as your abductors. And for those of you who don't know, if those two things have a more healthy relationship between the two, you're able to squat and deadlift more. Congratulations. There have also been some studies that have shown that performing these have led to less hamstring tears as well as strains. And if you guys are interested in ever doing a human flag, then this is a good place to start as a scaled exercise, because trust me, if you cannot do these, you are not gonna be able to do a human flag. This is not only an exercise for your adductors as well as your hips, but it works your core like crazy if you actually initiate the way that you're supposed to. All right, so the very first thing you're gonna need to know is that this is going to be a decent amount tougher than you're probably expecting it to be. So you're gonna wanna scale it at the beginning and just start out at the easiest place possible, which is going to be closer to the place that you're supporting your legs. So you're gonna start out with your knee up on that bench. We're just gonna use the bench for these examples. Start out with your knee up on that bench so that you don't have any of your actual knee joint taking any of the weight of your body. And from there, you're gonna get a lot of adductor type of recruitment and activation there. You're gonna feel it a lot. Now here, it's also gonna be very important to make sure that you're breathing and bracing the exact same way that you would on a deadlift or a squat, because trust me, if you do not have a good breathing and bracing situation, even with your knee this close to the supporting object, your butt is gonna feel ridiculously heavy. And the further and further out you get from that box or the bench, the harder and harder this exercise is gonna become. And trust me, if you are not supported by your core, then your butt is so heavy, it's just gonna sink and it's just gonna be terrible. But as you get better and stronger than this, the goal is to start moving your body further and further away from the actual bench or supporting area. But if you find yourself in the situation where you are so far out that you are supporting yourself on your foot, then it's gonna be very important to keep that foot as activated and recruited as possible. You wanna be pushing down into that bench while at the same time, you're thinking in your knee lift up, cue upward, all right? Because it is the tendency of your leg to kind of go relaxed and saggy, and if it starts sagging, then all of that pressure is gonna go right to the medial side of your knee. Of course, much like when your knee was very close, the breathing and bracing is just as important as ever. You guys will feel a drastic difference in if you're breathing and bracing correctly versus if you're not. You also should be engaging your glutes and just trying to keep your body as aligned as possible. Don't be trying to let it bend all over the place, because it will as you start to weaken and tire. All right, so next logical question is the where, when, and how to fit these into your workout schedule. So if you guys are involved in giant sets, the way that I am, meaning that you're just doing a bunch of movements with the main mover involved in there, I would use this either as a priming exercise on a lower body day, meaning that it's like your explosive exercise before your deadlift or your squat, except this isn't going to be explosive. This is just simply going to be telling your body the muscles that you want to be recruiting when you move on to that big main mover. Or I would throw it in at the end of the giant set, just as like your core exercise, and really focus on good long holds where you're really using your core and your abdomen to actually support your body and stay as stable as possible. Now, if I follow more of a traditional straight set type of program, then I would throw these in more towards the end of your day, similar to where you would throw in like a glute ham raise, a reverse hyperextension, or a Nordic hamstring curl, something on the lines of that, where it is towards the end of your assistance, you get the main stuff out, and this is kind of to finish it off. You can also use it like I'm using it as a primer at the beginning of my giant set, except you can use it during your warm-ups or an activation period, very similar to people before their squats who would throw a hip circle around their knees, and do some side straddle walks. Same basic idea here. You are not pre-exhausting the muscle. You're simply trying to cue it so that it activates when you're doing the main mover. So you find that you personally have some adductor activation problems. That was a lot to say. Then I'd probably be utilizing them before my squats or my deads. As far as reps and sets go, it's gonna very much be determined by your level of advancement. So some people are gonna jump right into this and find this extremely easy, while other people are gonna feel like they're gonna rip their groin in half. But there are two ways that I basically approach it. The first is by time. You might be able to do 30 seconds with right leg, 30 seconds with left leg, 30 seconds off, and just continue to repeat that pattern. Maybe you need to go 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, switch sides, 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, maybe 10 seconds work, 20 seconds rest. Whatever you need to do, using a timer is a really, really good way to kind of get this going. Well, that was a great way to finish that sentence. Stellar. Final thing I will say about this exercise is this is not one that you want to go to complete failure on. There are a ton of things in the world that I think you should go to complete failure on, but this is not one of them. Number one, because of the chance of possibly popping your groin. When you get really tired, you're gonna start getting sloppy, and getting sloppy on this is not a good idea. And then secondly, of course, because if you are extended out, then you're supporting yourself with your knee joint. And if you are getting an exhausted state or a non-mindful state where you are getting distracted or just thinking about getting through it instead of actually being right there with your cues, then your knee is definitely gonna be in kind of a dicey situation. So you're gonna wanna be right there, mindful, intention, everything involved in this. So if that starts breaking down, then it's probably time to call it on the Copenhagens. All right, guys, so that's it. I hope that was helpful to you. I want to thank each and every single one of you for buying the Black Friday deals. All those programs, I should be completely caught up, which gives me a little bit more time. So if you guys are interested in a program, or you guys want to buy your significant other a program for some sort of holiday gift, I am your man. All you need to do is email me at Gmail. That's not it. I haven't not screwed this up in a while. Neverstate@gmail.com. Guys, I thank you for absolutely everything you do. If you guys do enjoy the Copenhagens, I hope they help you out. I hope they improve your program, but if not, go ahead and discard them, guys. They mean absolutely nothing to me. All that I try to do is share with you guys things that I find cool or helpful in hopes that it will help you as well. I will catch you guys later in the week. Until I do, go out to something amazing, guys. Keep working hard. Be nice to each other, people. It's Christmas time. I'll see you then.